My skin got amazing. Like, I don't know what it is, but when I go into the psych ward, I emerge with, like, new skin. So would recommend.
Yeah. I mean...
Forget a dermatologist.
It could be possible that abusing substances is not good for your skin.
It sounds like lies. Hello, friends, and welcome back to Pickles and Vodka, the mental health podcast, where we probably need a trigger warning for every episode, but we don't do it. I'm Christina, one of your co-hosts.
And I'm Lauren, your other co-host.
What did you think of that tagline?
Accurate.
Right? Especially today.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I went to the psych ward last week.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sure we'll be talking about that.
Yeah.
There's like a little rustling noise in your background.
Yeah, it's Taco.
Oh, okay.
Because he's on top of me, and so of course he's, getting in the way of cords and things, and I'm trying.
Gotcha. I mean, I can talk some housekeeping while he gets it out of his system.
Okay.
So I've been remastering some old episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know did you listen to the million voice messages I sent you?
I did. I listened to all the voice messages, but I haven't looked at all the links and things you sent.
Oh, I wouldn't expect you to.
Okay.
Y'all, I sent, you know how Lauren and I never text? In one day, I think I sent you 6 voice messages and a bunch of I made a bunch of notes on the note app, collaborative notes, and I sent them to Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
It must have been overwhelming.
Just because I'm getting them at the same time that I'm in my work day and I'm getting people that are like, oh, we need to pay this yearly seller note to the person we bought the business from. So you got to get that set up. And, oh, by the way, we need all this tax information. And, oh, we need this right now. And at the same time, I'm like, what are all these texts coming in?
Well, and also your apartment didn't have water.
Oh, yeah. For the third time in 3 weeks.
Insane.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry. Where You At is coming up.
Yeah.
I know you're just dying to talk about yourself.
As always.
But yeah, real quick, I'm remastering episodes because whenever we miss a week, I'm like, I wish there was something we could put out in the meantime.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would be good to have a few of those because we have 226 episodes as of now.
Yeah.
And a big portion of those sound like shit because they're old.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't know as much about the older ones before I was on, but I listened to a couple of the first ones, so that makes sense.
I'm talking 2020, 2019, really, really far back.
Mm-hmm.
And also, since we have an intern, I was thinking, I have not talked to them about this, but that might be a cool little project if you don't feel like learning how to do it.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, if I have a chance, I'd like to give it a try because I do just sometimes wish I knew more about getting the shit out there instead of just coming up and talking.
Well, that was the other housekeeping thing. You had an episode all recorded that you wanted to release last week, right?
I did. And I keep thinking, what I want to do. I wish there was a way I could, just play the beginning of it because I want to surprise you with it. But I guess I could just send it to you after this.
Oh, okay. You don't want to, publish it anymore?
Yeah, because I did just record it in Audacity, so I can just send you the file like usual.
How long is it?
It's about half an hour.
Okay, I was going to say, let's play it now, but no. We
Yeah,
got shit to talk about. Maybe next episode.
And it will be good, because you can do the stuff then, I was saying periodically through the recording, I was just kind of like, yeah, I don't know all the fancy editing things, so if there's a pause, you get a pause. Enjoy it.
Well, luckily, there's an effect you can do that, truncates the silence.
Okay.
It's so useful. Because before I was manually cutting out silences. No one cares about this. So Lauren, where are you at?
I am, well, at this exact moment, I am exhausted. That's because I am doing this 20 minutes after coming home from my aerial class. So,
oh shit, I didn't realize.
Yeah, so, a good sort of exhausted, but also there was the fact that I guess it was supposed to snow today, but everything I saw sounded like it was going to be nothing. And even walking out my door, I was like, oh, yeah, it snowed, like a handful of snowflakes. It took me 2 seconds to brush it off my car. Roads look totally clear and everything like that. But I get in and start driving, and as soon as I get on the highway, it started snowing harder, and it is white out, and everybody is going under 30 miles an hour, and it was terrifying.
God. That's wild. Because it's supposed to snow here too, but like 100% chance, but it's like a sleety mix or something.
Okay. And it does seem to be here, like this area, that's what happens, is it's just kind of like the weather can dramatically change within like 2 miles.
Oh, I remember living in Chicago.
Yeah.
The Midwest is no joke. I also, a lot of my friends right now who live in the Midwest are like, I'm suicidal every year in winter. And I don't think I really understood it until I lived there.
It beats you down.
Yeah, no joke. But anyway, so you're exhausted. Did you use your AirPods during your aerial class?
I don't during the class, but I have done some open gyms where I just kind of, like work on like, oh, let's see if I can just do some choreography. And yeah, they work great. They actually stay in my ears.
Hell yeah. It's great. It's a game changer.
So other than that, yeah, just getting through life. I had another therapy session where they're supposed to be an hour, and we always end up going like an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes. It's like, I love that she's not someone that's just kind of like, well, the clock says you end at this exact minute. It's like, no, we're getting into something, and we'll keep talking. And she never...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, gives me crap about that or anything.
That's a fun trope in TV shows where, like, they're having, like, a revolution or a breakdown, and the therapist is like, oh, well, that's time.
Yeah, like, time's up. We'll save that for next week. Bye!
And that's cool that, like, she is, she does have to cancel sometimes, but it sounds like she makes up for it by doing that.
Yeah, it's the sort of things like that that makes you feel like, oh, this person actually is invested in me. It's not, just like, I'm their job because I pay them this amount for this many minutes, and that's it.
Right. Well, yeah, it sounds like you had a really good session.
Yeah.
Good, in quotes.
I mean, I have assignments with deadlines, because one of the big things that we have been talking about, of course, is dealing with all of the Pico stuff, and especially how it relates to the relationship, because it was the boyfriend's dog who did it. And that was in the end of March. And
yeah,
I think as time goes on, I am less okay with things that I might have been more okay with in the beginning, like the fact that I cannot go over to his house because he never got rid of that dog.
Yeah, I know Sarah's out there listening somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Sarah's the listener who sent you a voicemail about that.
Left a really good voice message about it.
But yeah, that's totally valid. And speaking of voicemails, when Orion sent the voicemail about his rabbit dying, I feel like you said that. You were like, sometimes grief changes and I feel differently later. Like, your feelings can be a little delayed sometimes.
Yeah, and even, like with that situation, it's things where it's like, okay, the dog wasn't gone immediately, and, and he boyfriend never, like, gave me crap about it in any way, like, totally understands when I say, like, if that dog's there, I can't be in the house, he
But that's no way
totally
to live.
Understands that, but then thinking, like, okay, that's a temporary situation. But if we're supposed to be in a relationship and I have not been able to go to his house for 9 months.
For almost a year.
Yeah, that's insane.
Crazy.
Exactly. Like, that's not the same as saying, like, I couldn't go to your house for, like, 3 weeks because you still had that dog, and we understand that, okay. But now it's just getting absurd to me.
It's absurd. I hope he realizes how patient you're being. Like, that's crazy. And I'm so glad you talked about it in therapy.
Yeah, so that's kind of one of my assignments, as I said. It was like, because he and I have not talked about it, and I feel like it's him just kind of, like, doing the, like, ostrich thing. It's like, well, I'll stick my head in the ground, and we don't have to talk about this uncomfortable thing. As long as neither of us bring it up. And so I'm like,
it's just,
I'm tasked with, like, I have to at least start the conversation of, like, this isn't okay before it's been a year.
I'm trying not to, like, weigh in too much about anything because it's not my relationship, but like I feel like it's been affecting you pretty drastically in a physical way, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'd say in all ways. Physical, mental, emotional, all of it.
Right. So like how could you I don't know. It seems like it would be hard not to notice.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely have that conversation. I'm really proud of you, by the way.
Thank you.
Hasn't
happened yet, but
you're doing the work.
Mm-hmm. So where are you at?
Speaking of work,
you've got some things to say.
I don't even know where to start, yo. So I went to the psych ward last Friday.
It's supposed to be Friday.
So we're recording Saturday, January 17th.
Mm-hmm.
I was admitted to the ER on Friday the 9th.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason was because I wasn't safe.
Right.
And again, I have listened to the last few weeks of episodes because I don't really know what we talked about. And it's funny because it's like inching closer and closer to breakdown. And it's so obvious in retrospect. But I'm just like trying to keep things normal and just like hope things will be better. But it just didn't get better. And it got to a really bad place.
Mm-hmm.
What I told the doctors was I've been declining steadily for the last like couple months. We know this.
Yeah.
But that week, there were a couple incidents that just triggered me and put me over the edge. One of them was the financial emergency we talked about in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's all fine now, by the way, but like that was horrifying to have an overdrafted account.
Of course. And we talked about that then, how that those sorts of things are not minor to people who have dealt with so many like money struggles as us.
Exactly.
And are already in a bad mental state.
Yeah. I also had a fight with my sister that lasted a while. And I don't know how much I've talked about this on the podcast, but I am not a fighter. I avoid conflict at all costs. I've never fought in my relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a problem.
Hey, right there with you. That's not wanting to have dog conversation.
Yeah, it's scary. And but I live with my sister, and so we need to have these conversations. I'm not going to say what it's about, obviously, but like I reacted in a way that was way more extreme than it warranted. And I had a panic attack. I was like hyperventilating and sobbing and like scratching at myself and screaming. It was the whole deal, like stuttering. I was embarrassed, honestly. And it happened once. And then a few days later, it happened a second time because I thought we were good. But then the subject came up again and I had the same exact reaction, even though I said I was fine. So like I have been using Benadryl this whole year to deal with these feelings of panic and anxiety by like it's self-medication. It has sedating effects. And obviously I push that to the extreme. Yeah. I'm just wanting to explain why the fuck I would do something like that. And it became about self-harm at one point too.
Okay.
I self-harmed, like cut myself for like the first time in a while after the fight. And it happened again. And that, as we know, is like a huge red flag for me.
Yeah.
Because I don't typically do that anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like it pretty much, it really is for anyone and would put that in perspective if it's something like that where it's like, yeah, I have a history, but it's like I consider it largely behind me because I can't think of like what specific situation would have brought it up, but I've definitely been in the same place where it's like, yeah, I've had times where I struggled with self-harm, but I mean, at this point, I feel like that's several years behind me. And then there'll just be like one night where I just like react and it's like, I don't do that anymore. Why? Whoa.
Well, that shows you how deeply it's ingrained in your neural pathways. My therapist and I were just talking about this because they taught me the trick where you put like a frozen bag of peas on your chest to regulate yourself.
Okay.
And it really helped. And they suggested setting a reminder on my phone like every few hours to just remember that I can do that. And then over time, in a moment of crisis, I just won't even think about it because I'm so used to like thinking about it regularly, if that makes sense. Because you really have to, the point is it happens without thinking. You reach for whatever coping mechanisms are there. And I think the self-harm is just so deeply embedded, because that's the first like addiction / coping method I ever had.
Yeah, when like I'm picturing the idea, you know, because the thing is like when you are just like in crisis, then yeah, you're grasping for anything. And I'm thinking, you know, it's similar to if you were falling off a cliff and you saw a tree branch, you would grab for it just because it's like anything. Like you don't think, I don't know, does that look stable enough to hold me if I grab it? It's just like, no, save myself.
Exactly. And also fun little, well, it's not fun. I was making the reminder and I did it by voice. And so every hour I have an alarm pop up on my computer that says, remember ice. That's so bad. Yeah, it's not a fun time in history right now. Oh, no. God, I just touched my eye after chopping serrano. Oh. I'm so white, sorry. The spicy peppers.
Yes.
Oh, God. Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, my God. I'm just going to be, like, crying this whole time now. So, I was in a bad spot. My dad visited Thursday. It was his first time seeing our new place since we moved here. Mm-hmm. And I got to show him all my favorite parks nearby, because that's our thing. We walk together. It's like ever since I was a teenager, we've gone on long walks together.
Okay.
And we stopped in a Civil War museum, like, of course we did. And we watched a fucking presentation on the hospital that used to be in my neighborhood in the Civil War.
Okay.
But anyway, he was here and everything was fine and dandy, but on the inside, I'm just thinking, I have to tell him I'm in crisis. Mm-hmm. Because my therapist strongly suggested I tell him so he could help me get support. I need someone sometimes to push me into action.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
and
I told him.
How did that go? Yeah.
It went well. He takes my mental health struggles very seriously. And he agreed that I should get help. He agreed that it's not a shameful thing. It's just like gashing your knee and going to the hospital to get stitches, you know? Mm-hmm. I know that about myself. Every so often, lately it's been yearly, I need to go to the psych ward to be safe. And so what should have happened was I should have just let him drive me then and there.
Well, yes.
But instead, I was like, give me one more night, because I need to email my jobs and stuff.
Yeah, we come up with excuses that we think, oh, this is really important.
You already know where this is going. And my sister also was like, okay, one more night. Neither of them have had, like, been in a mental health crisis before, and neither of them are drug addicts. So, like, they don't understand that I have a thing for last hurrahs.
Yes, I was going to say that you get one last night. I knew exactly where it's going. So
it was really bad. I self-harmed and, like, took Benadryl. And I don't know if I should even include that number, but, like, it's crazy. It's a crazy thing to do. I don't know how I didn't die, honestly. Then I went to the psych ward the next day. No, what happened was I was up till like 2 a.m., like self-harming and crying. And then the next day I was supposed to go first thing in the morning.
Right. Because I knew that because you texted me or something later. And I'm thinking, like, shouldn't you be there? How do you have a phone?
Yeah. So what happened was I just like took all day Friday to just get high. Because I knew it would probably be the last time. I've known self-awareness is not the problem, as we've discussed.
Yeah.
So, my sister got home from work and actually ended up driving me to the ER. Mm-hmm. She has a picture of me going in that I'll post. It's so funny. I was like, why do you have this? She's like, for content. What? It's not even a good picture. But I appreciate it because part of the way I keep memories is like by pictures.
For content. I love that she's looking out for us.
I know. Shout out. So yeah, it wasn't nearly as bad as the ER experience at the last time I did this in 2024. Mm-hmm. I didn't have to wait too long. I told them, how much I took, and I told them I was suicidal, and so I got moved along pretty quickly. I didn't have to stay in the holding room for like 12 hours like last time.
Or 32 like when I did.
Right. You know what's funny? I actually listened to that episode before because I was like, how was this for Lauren? And that was crazy. What do you like? Not to digress too much, but like, what do you think about that incident? Like now that it's been a couple years.
I mean, I know it was on my mind when I knew that you were going in, and that was like one thing that I did just keep thinking is I was just like, oh my God, I hope her experience is better than that, because that part was the biggest hell of it all. And I was like sitting there like randomly thinking, I hope she's in. I hope they're not just pushing her around and leaving her with her thoughts, and that's the shittiest part.
Well, for one thing, the cops weren't involved with mine.
Well, yeah, there's that too.
But yeah, the holding room experience was shockingly brief, only like 3 hours.
Okay.
And they got me a bed in the psych ward. And so my journey began, as it were. The first couple days were god awful. I slept the whole first day.
Which makes sense after, you know, when you get to that point, you're exhausted in every way.
Right. And I had a roommate, and like the bed was super uncomfortable. But I mean, I was prepared for all those things. But yeah. I'm usually the kind of person who like is comfortable on a psych ward and socializes with people. But I stayed in my room a lot this trip, which like isn't, well, we'll talk about it. But yeah, the whole time also I'm not really eating a lot. Did you see what I posted on Peach about restriction?
Oh, I don't remember that one.
Okay, well, I can tell you real quick. Yeah. So this is another thing I haven't been talking about on the podcast. I've been restricting again for a while, but it's not, I know I always say this, but it's not entirely intentional.
Mm-hmm.
One of my meds was increased. I'm on Wellbutrin, and so they increased me from 150 to 300 milligrams. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what did it, because it's a common effect of that drug is like appetite suppression.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even like not getting hungry and having time blindness and all that stuff. It was like food actually makes me feel sick right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the nausea didn't really happen until after I got out. So I think it's a result of a new drug that I'm now on.
Probably.
But anyway, I'm like getting dizzy and like not up to eating, and it's like a problem. And in the hospital, I was like, okay, maybe I'll be able to get some food in me. Like I'll be able to have regular meals. But no, being vegan in the hospital is a nightmare. Because not only was the food shitty, but I could barely eat any of it. So like an example of a typical meal, especially when I first got there, because after a few days you can like ask for things on the menu.
Okay.
But I had white rice and frozen green beans, no seasonings, and like a fruit cup. And that was a meal. Yeah. Also, yeah, like I said in the teaser, in the tagline, trigger warning for like all of this. I'm not going to say numbers, but yeah, I had a veggie burger finally on the third day, but it was dry on a bun. And yeah, that was just like another thing going on. And of course, at the moment, I was like, ew, who is she? Like, I don't know where I was going with that. My brain has been so like, since getting out, I have not had the best sleep. And also, I'm so full of energy now. Like, not to skip ahead, but I feel really good now. I feel focused and energized, and I'm not having to deal with the Benadryl. I did realize how much it was holding me back. Yeah. I knew that the minute I cut it out, I would be able to achieve all the things I wanted to, and yet I still couldn't do it. Like, it took a crisis.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say on that, but I know it's frustrating, but it's just the way it happens. It's just like, I don't know how your mind works. It's like kind of like, I know what's good for me, but I can't make myself do it.
Well, and we were talking about this also recently, how we don't feel like we're deserving of medical attention unless we are in crisis.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I'm editing an audiobook right now. That's like one of my day jobs, and it's all about crisis management. And they're like teaching you how to engineer your crisis into something good. And I'm like, this is so relevant. You have no idea.
Yeah.
They're talking about multi-billion-dollar companies, but
okay.
same.
But
same
yeah,
thing.
but you're like, yeah, but I still have a crisis.
And I'm engineering it.
Yeah.
I guess. So yeah, by day 3, I was feeling a little better. I got put on a new med for bipolar, I guess, even though I've never been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. It's risperidone. Have you heard of that?
I might have been on it for a bit, because I've been on a couple as well that are, for like bipolar, things like that. And it's usually something where they've said, like it's supposed to, it can also like help with maybe like an antidepressant. No one's ever diagnosed me bipolar, but I know I've been on a couple because they're like this, usually I get the warning. It's like, don't be worried because we gave you something called an antipsychotic. It's, also does this. That's why we're giving it to you.
Right. And, sorry, my brain just like blanked out. What was I just talking about?
Meds, new med.
Yeah, so I got placed on the new med and they gave me something for sleep. And I started like attending the groups, which were also kind of a joke. Like the yoga was just like sitting in a chair and stretching. Also, the yoga teacher looked just like Ruth from 6 Feet Under. If you know, you know. Sounded like her too.
That's funny.
But I was just really, really impatient to leave, like right away. Even though I knew I needed to stay for at least a few days.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up staying 4 days total.
Okay.
And I just occupied my time with reading and crossword puzzles. And my skin got amazing. Like, I don't know what it is, but when I go into the psych ward, I emerge with like new skin. So would recommend.
Yeah. I mean,
forget a dermatologist.
It could be possible that abusing substances is not good for your skin.
That sounds like lies.
Probably. I probably made that up.
What? Well, especially like this happened when I went sober from alcohol too. My skin got amazing. It's just because like alcohol and Benadryl dehydrate you.
True. Yeah.
And yeah, your skin needs hydration. If you take one thing away from this podcast, hydrate your skin.
Hydrate yourself.
Yes. There were some interesting characters.
Of course.
As always. My roommate was a younger girl and she was really sweet. There was a man like in his 50s that used to live, he had a home in California and he was in show business.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me that I have the best hair in the psych ward.
Ah!
And I am going to write that down and frame it and hold on to that forever.
I feel like we get awards then, because if you remember the first episode I guest on, we named the most popular girl in the psych ward.
Yes! Oh
you
my
get
God!
Best hair in the psych ward.
Most popular in the psych ward, best hair in the psych ward. Oh my God,
like
what if...
the yearbook things where, they're like, most likely to succeed.
The superlatives.
Yes.
What if instead of the hot and spicy pickle awards this year, we just do like psych ward awards?
So the psych ward superlatives, yeah.
Psych awards.
I love it.
Oh my God. Oh, I forgot to add this in housekeeping, but we have quite a few potential guests lined up.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've been really productive, like I said. So, some little treats for y'all coming up. On the 4th day in the psych ward,
For some reason, the way you started that is like, on the 4th day in the psych ward.
My doctor gave to me a slip with my belongings on it that I had to sign to prove that they didn't take anything.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's another thing that was so different this time. The last time I went, you couldn't have your own clothes. You had to wear scrubs the whole time, and you couldn't have piercings in. And they lost my nose ring.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that.
This time, holy shit, you could wear your own clothes, and you could have like shelf-stable food. And you could also have piercings, but also you couldn't have a pen or a spiral-bound notebook or a mask with a metal strip in the nose. So, like, I don't know how that works.
Okay.
But, oh my God, My sister has been so amazing through all this.
Oh, good.
She works a very demanding 10-hour shift job, and she also goes to school a few times a week.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first 3 days, she visited me.
Wow.
And she brought me clothes and like protein bars and stuff. I also got phone calls from a few people, like, you know who you are, but I've never felt like I wasn't supported in there.
Good.
The first night, I was just, like I said, I slept all day. I was very fragile, and I just started sobbing out of the blue, and I was sitting on my bed just crying and feeling like I'm all alone in the world and I'm never going to get out of here. My roommate gave me a hug.
Oh.
But then I thought it was like late at night, and my nurse comes in and she's like, hey, you have a visitor. It's like 6 p.m. That's the one thing about the psych ward is like things wrap up very early. Like meals are early.
Yeah.
We had breakfast at 7, lunch at 10, like 11, and dinner at 4.
Oh, wow.
And so by 5 o'clock, you're like done for the day. There's no more groups. And so visitors are like all you have, really, unless, you know, you're a social, but unless you're the most popular girl in the psych ward.
Right.
But I was not. So yeah, that was really nice. And I'm glad to be out so I can like give my sister some reinforcements emotionally, because she's really been burnt out. And I wanted to just give a spotlight to the people that support us while we're in these places. You know, if you have people, which isn't even a given.
Oh, yeah. Because, I mean,
it was hard for you to get out in time to, like, take care of your pets.
Yeah, and that was the time that I was there. Then, you know, and I had a great friend, but it's hard for us, like, just in real life to connect. I feel like she's one that if she has something to do, you know, like if she has like a work project or, you know, like now she has a kid and she'll just kind of let that like take over her whole everything and sort of like not make time for friend things because I think she just feels too busy and overwhelmed. So it's really hard to connect with her in general. But I mean, when I called her and told her things that it was just kind of like, I don't know when I'm going to get home and my pets are going to starve or I need a ride. I mean, it was just like, it was not a question. It was like she was immediately there. So she's definitely there when it counts, which I appreciate.
That's beautiful. But not everyone has that in-person support. I consider myself very fortunate in that regard. What else? I feel like I was going to say something. I wrote a lot, which is good. I'll be updating my Substack Crisis Corner soon with the juicy details. I say as I like run out of juicy details for my podcast. But yeah, it was just an exhausting experience. But to recap, I feel like it was the dose of reality that I needed because I was so in my head and the Benadryl did not help.
No, of course not.
I was isolating myself for weeks and just hadn't interacted with a stranger in days. It was all about me and my problems. And like, that was all I could focus on. And being in the psych ward, like, yeah, it sucked, but it was like a slap in the face. So, like, this is reality. Like, actually, you're in a lot of mental torment and it doesn't have to be this way. And you deserve care. And also, there's other people that exist and they have their own problems. And your lives just happen to be intersecting right now in this weird, random way. And I don't know. It's just a lot to think about. Like, I'm still thinking about some of the people in there.
Well, that's good. Because one thing I was wondering about is if you felt like you gave yourself enough time. Because, I mean, obviously, I know from experience, I feel, you know, like you do get in and it's immediately just like, no, I don't like this. How can I get out of here? And not thinking like, if you do too soon, it's like, well, then that's really not an interruption. And I'm just going to go back to the way I was as soon as I get out.
Yes. Yeah, I definitely was aware of that tendency of mine to do that. I guess I'm lucky it didn't take as long. I mean, last time I was in there for 6 days. Yeah. So there was someone in there who had been there for weeks. It was wild. I was worried I would have to be in there for like 10 days or something. But on day 4, this nurse just walks up. Oh my God. I forgot to tell you this. So the hospital is a medical school. It's like affiliated with, which is like not to dox myself, but it's like a pretty giant school, like medical school. And the hospital is like a huge campus. Like they have restaurants and stuff. It's crazy. And so oftentimes when I would be checked on by my doctor, they would be trailed by a gaggle of medical students just observing.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, that happened to me at the last one too. Pro tip, don't go to a hospital associated with a school if you don't want that. Although I guess I didn't have any choice in the matter at the time.
Well, yeah, you don't always get to.
But one really cool thing that happened was on like day 3, one of the resident doctors was like, hey, you can say no, but we're doing this like panel for school where we interview patients about their like psychiatric history. And would you be interested in doing that? Because I guess, as you know, I like to talk about mental health. And so they got the impression that I was very, self-aware and like articulate, I guess. And I was like, sure. And so I go in and it's this giant conference room table filled with medical students and a supervisor. All I did was focus on the one who was interviewing me. It was just one person.
Okay.
And afterwards, I got like the best feedback from the one who invited me. She was really impressed with how I wasn't anxious. And I was like, I'm always anxious.
Joke's on you.
But she asked for the name of the podcast.
Oh.
And so who knows if anything will come of that. But the point is, it made me feel really good. And like I had inspired people, and I hadn't felt like that in a long time. And it just reaffirmed like what I want to do with my life, ? Like, I just want to talk in front of people about being fucked up and how it's normal, like it's okay to be fucked up and make people feel less alone. And I feel like that was a real turning point for me.
And I think that's great because I just think in general we need more people doing that.
Yeah.
Put the realism out there because a lot of people I think are just kind of, not to use a cliche phrase, but like suffering in silence because it is a thing that isolates you and you think like, oh, hardly anyone can understand this. I'm so weird. I do weird things that nobody else would get. My brain is crazy. And it's like, a lot of us feel that way.
No, seriously. You're not alone and you're not as weird as you think you are. I don't know. It was just one of those rare moments of clarity. Like you are in the right place, even though it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I did it. And I would do it again if I had to. Like, no shame. I think that's another thing that I'm trying to impress on people is that it's not that big a deal. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't want to normalize it.
Right, but...
And I'm a privileged white person. Like, I'm not treated the same as someone else would be in the psych ward. Like, there's very real fears people have to being in that kind of environment. I don't want to, diminish that at all.
Yeah.
But, like I said, it's just like gashing your knee and needing stitches. Like, I knew if I was left to my own devices, I would just keep taking drugs and keep hurting myself and I might die. So, which, we both minimize a lot. It feels weird to say that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was life-threatening, and I'm glad to be alive.
Question mark?
That's a good start. So yeah, did you have any questions? I feel like that's all I can think of at the moment. I guess since I can talk about what I've done since I got out, because I know people will be worried. They did recommend that I start PHP again.
Mm-hmm.
Which, for those people keep asking me what it means. It's partial hospitalization program. You basically are in the hospital 5 days a week. It's like a job. You're in therapy.
It's different amounts depending on what you're doing and where you are. But the idea is kind of like your day is still structured with whatever psychiatric and medical needs you need from them, and you spend time there, but you go home and you sleep at night.
Right. And they were worried about the Benadryl use, understandably.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't I called my sister the first night and told her where my stash was to get rid of it because I knew if I didn't, I would chicken out.
Yeah.
So I don't have it in the house. I haven't had it since. But, God damn it. What was I? My brain is broken. Like, that's one thing about the Benadryl use for such a long time is that I feel like my cognitive abilities have decreased, which is scary.
True.
Oh yeah. We were talking about PHP.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I need it at this point because I have been doing very well and like have so many goals, but I am going to do IOP at the very least.
That's what I was going to ask, because I was like, is there some kind of lesser step, though, that you can still get something?
So yeah, IOP, intensive outpatient program. It's like only 3 days a week. And so I'm probably going to do that. I have not been good. I haven't like called any of the hospitals I said I would.
Oh, okay. I'll bug you about it.
Thank you. I give you permission. Only if you let me bug you about, like, your whole fucking relationship. No.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
At least the things that I said up top that I know I need to do.
Right. Yeah, I think it's great to have homework and, like, goals. Like I said, I've been so busy since getting out. I feel so energized and focused and, like, excited to get into all my projects. I'm working on an art commission. I have, like, a new writing idea. I've done a lot with the podcast for once. Well...
I know. I'm getting all the texts and links on it.
We need to post like I'll take a screenshot of all the stuff I sent Lauren with just like 0 replies. What do they call that? Double texting?
I don't know. It was funny when I was getting them all, and then because like I see a little bit of like the text, like when you send like a voice record message, and it just starts out. You probably think that I'm like totally manic, but.
Well, yeah. One of my friends was saying that be careful with the new medication because I guess there's been misdiagnoses that have resulted in mania where there was no mania before.
Mm.
But I don't think I'm manic, like clinically manic anyway.
No, it doesn't seem like talking to you or listening to it. It sounded more like what you're saying, that it's just like it's exciting to have some drive and feel like you have some purpose again.
I forgot what that felt like.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know I had it in me still. It just makes me so sad to think of all the months I was just, like you said, suffering. Not that I was suffering in silence, but, like, just suffering needlessly, I think. Mm-hmm. And on that note, I don't have anything else, really. Like I said, we have some potential guests, and one of them is a new paid subscriber, and I just want to read you the review she left for our podcast.
Okay.
It's a nice note to end on. It's very, very sweet. So just give me a second. Elevator
I did
music.
give Christina crap because I saw, and I've probably seen it before, but I saw the quote-unquote rewards for each level of subscriber, and I was like, and for the free one, then like some of the higher paid one things are crossed out, but one of them that we have on there is just you're cool, and that's crossed out. I was like, you're not cool if you're a free subscriber. So I want you to know, guys, I believe that all the subscribers are cool, even the free ones.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
You might have to pay a little bit to get like a sticker and all those rewards, but I still think you're cool.
Yeah. Okay, so this is from, well, I won't say her name because I want to tease the guest, like the surprise element.
Okay.
But she says, the podcast feels like dropping in on two friends who are totally unpretentious and real about their lives, mental health, family, work, and life. In a world of people trying to project aspirational lives they aren't really living, this podcast is such a welcome embrace of life in all its messiness.
I love that.
I know, it's so sweet. So everyone go write us reviews.
Yeah.
But for real, it helps people find us. Like, speaking of drive, that's one thing I want to do is like help more people find the podcast this year. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if you give us a rating and a review, it helps. That's the last time I'll talk about it for now. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I didn't really have much coming in. I just, I really wanted to hear about your experience. And of course, as we said, it was like, yeah, some of my own was on my mind, even though it's been a while. Like, thinking like, haven't thought about this in a bit.
It's a traumatic experience, and I don't want anyone to have to go through it.
But I'm glad it sounds like it was overall a good one for you, so.
Yeah, I engineered the fuck out of that crisis.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will see y'all next week for a regular episode. I have thoughts on that purging book that I've been reading. Also, it was published in 2009, and I literally went to the hospital in 2009.
Oh,
so
wow.
I have thoughts about that teaser.
Speaking of, just side note, so I'm seeing, and I don't really do much social media anymore, but when I am on, seems like it took like a week or two into the year, and suddenly everyone, and I don't know why they're picking this year, it's like, this is me in 2016 versus me now.
Oh my God, yeah.
And
can we talk about that?
Yeah, because I usually don't bother with any stuff like that, but I did think, I was like, you know what? Since, smartphones, you always usually can like import everything. So I was like, I bet on my phone, I bet I had an iPhone by 2016, so I should actually have a decent amount of pictures to see what I have. And I scrolled all the way back, and I was like, oh, 2016, I was in the middle of my first ever residential treatment stay. That's where it starts out.
I know that, and you know how I know it? Because you sent me photos from that time in the past, and I guess I saved them, and so when I type 2016 in my Photos app, pictures of you came up.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's the picture of you smoking a cigarette in the tutu.
Yep.
There's a picture of you with your friend from treatment. She's like biting your shoulder.
Okay.
There's some really cute pictures of Pico that.
Well, yeah.
So
because I also
cute.
got him in 2016, so
Aww.
that too is like everyone's doing it this year. Like, what'd I do in 2016? Oh, got my angel boy.
Well, I got Ruby in 2016.
Oh, good year for animals.
So, yeah, it was a horrible year, but it was also a special year.
Aw.
Maybe we'll post some pictures of us from 2016. I want to see pictures of people from 2006.
Yeah. I'll have to look at, like, I don't know what I'll have to look through, like, old defunct Photo Bucket account.
Oh, Photo Bucket. I forgot about Photo Bucket.
So I was just trying to think, I was like, how was I posting pictures in 2006? Like, probably that.
I was like 12. I'm probably doing the math wrong there. Maybe I was 14.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm going to go and make this Thai salad.
Ooh, yum.
Final shout out to my sister. Yesterday, I just, like I said, I haven't been eating great and I haven't had like a lot of energy. And we had been procrastinating this grocery trip forever. So we didn't really have any food. And she heard how tired I was and she was like, you know what? I'm just going to go by myself. You don't have to come. And that is the greatest gift.
Uh-huh.
Because I hate grocery shopping.
Oh, me too.
Get you someone who can like go grocery shopping for you.
Love it.
Love it. And we love you.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Bye. Bye. If you like what you heard, tell a friend about the podcast. You can send them to picklesandvodka.substack.com, where they can listen to our entire catalog and find our newest merch. We love hearing from our listeners, so leave us a voice message at speakpipe.com/picklesandvodka. My personal Instagram is at xtinajumper, and Lauren's is at Lauren3_AFH. We'll see you next week.